Alright, good afternoon everybody, and thank you for coming. Today I'd like to talk to you about how to properly and safely change a tire in an emergency situation if you are driving down the road and you get a flat. First things first is you need to plan ahead when you're heading out. So if you know you're going to go on a road trip, the Department of Motor Vehicles suggests that you should have things like a poncho, mats to kneel on, fix-a-flat, flashlights, just things to keep in your car in an emergency situation that would come in handy. So, you're traveling down the road, your tire goes flat. First thing you should do is find a safe spot to pull over. Secondly, when you get there, you want to turn on your emergency flashers, and if it's in a nighttime situation, you should put out a flare so that other motor vehicles can see you from a distance. Alright, then what you're going to do is you're going to locate your emergency jack. Now your emergency jack is usually located underneath the passenger seat of the vehicle, but it can also be in the trunk of the vehicle depending on the make and model. So after that, you're going to want to chalk your back tires and engage the emergency brake. That way the vehicle doesn't roll away or shift while you're jacking the vehicle trying to change the tire. Now if you're unsure of where to place the jack, you should consult your owner's manual, which is usually going to be underneath the axle, but in some cars it is different and they do have specific spots that you would place the jack. So you are then going to get your crowbar. You're going to break the torque on the lug nuts before you jack up the car, because once the car's up in the air, if you try and break the torque on the lug nuts, then the tire is just going to spin and you're not going to be able to. So break the torque first, then jack up the vehicle. So once the vehicle is jacked up, go ahead and loosen the lug nuts the rest of the way, pull your tire off of the vehicle, and put it to the side. Next, you're going to locate your spare. Now, on, for instance, trucks, it's underneath the bed of the truck. And there's usually tools and equipment to lower that tire from the bed of the truck, but in cars, usually it's in the trunk underneath the liner that you usually see in your trunk. So, if your spare is brand new, TireRack.com suggests that you should place the brand new spare tire on the back of the vehicle because it will have more tread than all your other tires, and it will help prevent hydroplaning in wet road situations, and it has better traction than your other worn tires. So, you're going to take the spare tire, you're going to install it on the car while it's still jacked up in the air, and you're going to hand tighten your lug nuts. Don't tighten them down all the way because you're going to want it to be on the ground before you do that. So after you lower the car with your hand tightened lug nuts, you're going to start at the top of the lug nut, whichever is closest to new for you. You're going to tighten that one down all the way, and then you're going to move opposite of that. You're not going to want to go in a row around. You're going to want to go to the opposite of that one, and then same thing, top, opposite, all the way around. Once you have, you think you've torqued all your lug nuts in a crisscross pattern, go through again, just make sure they're all torqued and tightened properly. After you have torqued and tightened properly, you're going to want to check the tire pressure on all your other tires just to make sure that when you're traveling down the road, this doesn't happen again. DriveSafely.net suggests that as soon as you change your tire, you drive to the nearest service station, because spare tires are not rated to usually go over 50 miles per hour or be driven on very long. So, any other questions?
I've got a question actually. How do I tell exactly how much pressure I should have in my spare tire?
The tire pressure will be on the outside wall of the tire, and it'll be in PSI, and it'll tell you it'll tell you temperature ranges, what the PSI should be at, and load ranges for what your PSI should be at.
Okay, thank you.
What would be the best way for a female that doesn't have that much strength to loosen up the tire?
So if you feel like you're not strong enough to loosen up the lug nuts, just go get a larger piece of metal, like a round cylinder bar, and then you're going to want to slide that over the tire crossbar, and you're going to want to pull down on the end. It's like extending the fulcrum. It increases your strength. So that's the best way to break that. All right, cool. Thank you guys.